Hello, we are Team Siren, and over the past quarter, we have been working on improving the Cough Drop AAC application for individuals with vocal and other disabilities. AAC stands for Augmentative and Alternative Communication and encompasses a wide variety of products and strategies that allow people to communicate in non-traditional ways. Cough Drop, for instance, provides users with a board of buttons with icons and labels that vocalize when pressed. These kinds of devices can be key for people with verbal difficulties to have the same conversations and opportunities as those who don't. Within the context of Cough Drop, this means it is incredibly important for users to have access to the buttons they need as efficiently as possible.
You got to think about communication, especially students who's nonverbal. They have to get whatever they want, like right away. Otherwise, there's no reason for them to do it.
While the Cough Drop application already has areas in which it excels, our needs expert, Peter Kozine, pointed out that there are places where improvements can be made, especially during board creation, which can be quite a long process and a bit hard to approach when starting out.
So she said for the first few weeks that she's constantly adding new things, and some of that information's coming from the parents and the past teachers. In the moment, it's really difficult, and that can be really key for especially students who have a lot of behavior that comes from not being able to communicate. If you can't get the device changed right there to kind of like facilitate that communication, then the device is like, you might as well not have it, you know?
With that in mind, we searched for a way to make board creation as fast and easy as possible during our development process. We wanted to ensure we supported both the creation and modification process with whatever changes we made. While it was easy to get ambitious during brainstorming, we tried to keep in mind the limited amount of time and resources on our hands, and come up with a couple new ideas that we could really work through properly. In the end, we settled on a suggestion sidebar, as well as a new file format for upload and download. These dynamic suggestions would adapt to the board as it is created, making it simpler to quickly add buttons for new scenarios like going to the zoo or getting a puppy. The new CSV file format would allow for boards to be viewed and modified in Excel, and is more streamlined and approachable for new users than existing formats. Unfortunately, we ran into some trouble when getting the Cough Drop environment up and running. Some dependencies were out of date and took many hours of debugging to get through. Eventually, we were able to get going, coding in Ruby, JavaScript, and web languages on Ubuntu VMs. We found the DataMuse API to generate word suggestions based on word association with existing words on the board. And we added a UI element to display suggested buttons in a sidebar and allow the user to add them to the board automatically. For the CSV portion, we created a template in Excel that users could fill in to generate new boards. After much prototyping, coding, and revision, we were ready to try our tools with real users. To test our additions, we invited several individuals with varying levels of familiarity with AAC technology to try our updated version of Cough Drop's board creation interface. First, we had them create a new board for a hypothetical scenario of a student going into the airport and flying for the first time. We observed their thought process, how useful they found our suggestions, and how easy the process was for them overall. Then, we had users test out the new feature for uploading a board from a CSV file and downloading a board. Unfortunately, we ran into some unexpected errors that we had never seen before, but we managed to get them fixed later. These experiments gave us valuable feedback, which we will use to make the CSV file layout more intuitive. These experiments were complicated by extremely slow image loading times, especially since the app was being run remotely on a virtual machine while a video call was running. But we managed to improve the speed in later tests, and we still obtained useful observations.
Working on this project was a really great introduction to AAC technology for me, and what really surprised me about it is the range of people that this kind of technology impacts. You've got teachers, therapists, parents, people with verbal disabilities, people with cognitive disabilities, and when you're designing for this kind of application, you really have to think about all those as you're going through.
Coming into this project, I was completely unaware of the challenges that are involved in allowing people with speech impairments to communicate. However, discussing with our needs expert really opened my eyes to a lot of these issues, such as how creating and customizing new boards is incredibly important yet extremely time-consuming, and I'm glad we're able to work with the AAC community to develop more efficient approaches to streamline this process.
Working with Cough Drop was a bit of a rough experience at first, but as my role in the team of both being the point of contact for everyone that we reached out to for testing, as well as primarily spending my time debugging, it was a new experience for me being able to see the human side of development as well as work with an existing code base.
They made changes to an AAC system that would make modifying and editing an AAC system like Cough Drop easier, more user-friendly for teachers. I think that their contributions were really valuable. They had a predictive system of suggested add-ons that they created that would be especially helpful, and overall it was just really great to see how seriously they took it and the great contributions that they made. So I really enjoyed the process.
Overall, the changes we made improved the efficiency of the Cough Drop board creation system. We hope that they will be useful for people with disabilities and their support networks in the future.
Thank you for listening.